Something people asked me about in my DMs was why women are delusional. I actually have this on here. And I wanted to put that in here because I think this fits into some of why nice guys finish last. A lot of people think that women are super delusional. And I'm going to explain something to you this will make sense for you. If you want to figure out why women seem to be so freaking delusional, I'm going to make this make sense by breaking down how relationships and dating go for men and women and how they differ. When you look at men and women in their relationships, you take a woman who is, just to rate, we'll say, you take a woman who's a 6. Most of the time, that woman is going to, just like any man would or any person would, she is going to have a vision of what type of man she wants in her head. He may be this tall. He may have this type of job. His body may look a certain way. She's got this vision in her head of the person that she would like to deal with. Much like a dude would have the same vision in his head, just the female version. Whatever it is he likes, he's going to have that in his head and he's going to say, this is who I should get or who I want to get. Here's where the difference comes in. And here's why women often seem delusional, whereas men seem to be more willing to accept. A woman could get a guy who is right on her level, but not quite, because we just said she's a 6. She might get a guy who is a 6 also and feel like she's actually dating down. This is what's so detrimental to women, because she'll get somebody on her level and she'll feel like she's settling. Even if she can kind of recognize the fact that no, because a lot of times y'all think women don't recognize where they are and where they operate in society because of how they act or because of what they seem to want. I'm telling you, a lot of times that's not the case. What women will do is they'll be like, yes, I recognize, because I talk to women. If y'all know, I got another channel that I work with women all the time. And I talk to a lot of women who will rate themselves and say, yeah, I feel like I'm a 6. And then they'll commence to having a laundry list of things that they'll want from a man. I'm going to make it make sense to you. What a lot of women will do is they'll say, I'm settling if I get this guy who doesn't have all these things that I want. Whereas a man will say, here's the things that I want, but here's where I am. And if I can get something that's pretty close to that, I don't feel like I'm settling. I feel like, this should be a good relationship if we can do things for each other. Now, this is going to be crazy to you. I'm going to say this. Men are the reason why women seem to be so delusional. Because a man who is operating at 6 level will never, ever, ever in his life sleep with a 10. It's not going to happen. Now, I'm not talking about if you're rich. I'm not talking about if you got game that's just ridiculous, where you just got that mouthpiece and you can talk a girl into anything. I'm not saying that, because that means that you're just physically at a particular level. That doesn't mean that you don't have other things that put you at a higher level. Yeah, you might have game. Your swag might be on 100 million. You might be rich. Okay, but that's a different story. I'm talking about a guy who can't get a relationship with a girl who is at 10, 8, even 7 level. That guy, for the most part, that guy will never, ever sleep with a woman who is at that level. Now, you take that same woman who operates at around, 6 or something like, what I'm saying? Like, she's just average, maybe a little bit above average as far as her physical appearance and, even the way she carries herself and conducts herself. You take a woman like that, she can sleep with a 10. Not just once, not just twice, but multiple times. That could be her partner group. Could be everything from 8 to 10. She could consistently have that as her partner list. It could be 8 to 10 Every single time. Boom. She goes out to a club. She meets somebody 8 to 10 over and over again. So when that woman gets into a situation where she's like, hey, I want to be in a relationship, a serious relationship, or I want to get married, she's going to harken back to all the times that she was able to sleep with somebody and even have real interactions with somebody who was a 10, who was the man of her dreams. She's probably at some point in time slept with the man of her dreams. She's probably at some point in time went out on multiple dates with the man of her dreams. Do you understand this concept? She has had sexual interactions, relationship style interactions with the man of her dreams. So when she gets with somebody who's on her own level and they actually say, yes, I want to be in a real relationship with you, she feels like she's settling. We blame women for this, but it comes from the mixed signals that they get from men. Because a man, we figure out our place in life so early on, because a woman who's above our place in life, or even women who are on the same level, often won't give you the time of day. Am I right? A lot of times they will not give you the time of day. So throughout your life, you start recognizing, look, I'm not settling if I get somebody on my same level or slightly above and even slightly below. I'm killing it. This is what I can expect from life. For women, and people call them alpha male widows or whatever you want to call it, but for women, what they will spend a lifetime doing is getting these encounters with men who generally would never date them, would never want to be with them, and they call these guys jerks. Now you see how it comes back around? They consider these guys to be jerks because what they're running into is a sexual relationship with a person who would generally put a man in the friend zone. This is what I'm like. The equivalent would be, you run into a girl who is operating at a really high level. She's got all kind of guys checking for her. In most cases, she'll just put you in the friend zone. You would never have a sexual relationship with her in a million years. Women get the same thing, but it involves what the person who's in a better position wants, which is sex. So she ends up being a friends with benefits, bust down, whatever you want to call it, fuck buddy. What you get what I'm saying. Whatever you want to call it. This is where she ends up finding herself in these relationships. So now she's decided that these guys are jerks. Because remember what I talked about when we say nice guy. When a woman thinks of a person as being a nice guy, she's saying, does he put me first? Is he willing to do for me above himself? Is he willing to care about my needs? Well, the answer is going to be no when he feels like you're not on his level. The answer is going to be no when he really isn't checking for you and he would never see you as someone he'd be in a relationship with. So when we as guys say, why is it that women like jerks? What you really not recognizing is the fact that these guys who are operating at a certain level are able to act like jerks because they have the options to do so. A dude can ghost a chick and then come back whenever he feels like it when he has options and she views him as being her ideal person. A dude can tell a girl to pay for dinner and still smash, or call her to come sleep in his basement on a blow-up mattress when he is her ideal type of guy. So therefore, she's willing to put up with those types of things because he's in a position of power. Now, she's going to call that person a jerk. She's going to say, why is it that every guy I date is a jerk? Now let's go back to where she feels like she's settling for guys at her own level. She feels like she's settling for guys at her own level, so even her relationship with them is going to also be strained Because since she feels like she's settling, she'll get with a guy who's operating about the same level as her, who would love her, who would reciprocate, who would worship the ground she walks on in some cases, if she would just show him that same love, that same effort that she shows to the guy that doesn't want anything to do with her. And a lot of times, guys will do the same thing with women. Sometimes you got to recognize the issues in someone else and yourself. So a lot of guys will do the same thing with women. It's not that necessarily you feel like you're settling, but it's like, hey, we're on the same level, so I should be able to put in medium effort. But you'll get with a girl who will never like you, and you'll be like stuck in the friend zone, and you'll be spending money, giving her a shoulder to cry on, begging, singing her little songs, being her little buddy in order to get that girl to like you. Now you get with a girl who's operating on a similar level, who actually does like you, and guess what? You're not going to put in any effort. Now that relationship becomes dried up, angry, and frustrated. Men and women often do the same things, they just do them in different ways. You feel what I'm saying? Like, or they do them for different reasons. A lot of times a woman feels like she's settling because she's been able to get smashed on by guys who operate at whatever level she's looking for. A lot of guys, they understand, like, this is what I can get. This is the type of girl that likes me, so it's not me settling. But they also feel like, why should I have to put in the same effort that I put in to get this other girl to like me who never ended up liking me anyway and kept me in the friend zone? A lot of guys will start believing that their efforts was what landed them in the friend zone. They'll believe that, man, I was really nice to this girl, so she put me in the friend zone. I was really cool and I took her out to dinner and I did this and I did that. So being nice is what put me in the friend zone. But really it was you were around somebody that you actually that didn't like your ass. You know, she wasn't feeling you in the first place, and there was nothing you could do to change her mind. If you put that same effort into somebody who is feeling you and really does like you, then they'll just like you more and more.
Pops, I'm hurt. She done left me, man. What you think I should do? Boy, back in my day, all you had to do was go to her job and you cry and you get down on your knees. You beg and plead for her sympathy. I'm telling you, boy, that's all you gotta do. Pops, you talking about stalking her. That's a crime now.
Yo, it's your man, Chaz Ellis. And I know y'all tired of getting the same old 1965 game that never works. Well, click the link below and check out 9 ways to get your ex back. This is cold-hearted game where I give you different techniques to turn the tables on your ex and get them chasing you for a change.